Hello and welcome. Firstly, I'd like to highlight, whilst I feel Wickes need to be exposed, I am slightly concerned about comeback from Wickes as a direct result of exposing them. I know for a fact they don't like negativity, but I feel that's a bit rich as the way they have treated their customers is shocking. Some stories I can't tell due to the fact they have now gone to court and cannot speak about those individual cases. I gathered information from a few groups on social media. Some admin of these groups have said after exposing Wickes in a bad light they have suffered direct abuse from friends of members of staff on a management level. Nonetheless, this will go ahead. I feel people need a voice. Wickes shouldn't be allowed to treat paying customers in this manner and rip people off. So let's begin. It all began from October 2020, when A broke up with B, who worked together at Wickes in Sutton in Ashfield, Mansfield. She would constantly make threats to harm, also make threats to send her husband down to harm him too. When A got into a new relationship, she would send threats to new partner claiming the same thing with the threats. A's new partner would contact Wickes to inform them and also inform them that a non-molestation order would be issued and sent to her workplace as they didn't have a home address for her. Her line manager, who condoned B behavior, wouldn't allow it and said it wasn't necessary. Also, when her manager was informed of the threats, nothing got done. They allowed B to continue her behavior until the day A left Wickes. A wanted to transfer to another location and was told by his line manager that no vacancies were available when in fact they were. Wickes to this day still haven't taken responsibility of their actions. B now works for another big company who knows of her behavior and still allows her to work there. I would love to advise any future customers of Wickes to not waste not only your money but your time and sanity. I paid, in full, for the installation of a small kitchen in November 2021, with installation to commence in February 2022. Things went wrong from the very start with an inexperienced designer. I was sweet-talked into continuing with the project with assurances that Wickes would put things right. The next disappointment was a fitter that didn't really have his heart or enthusiasm in what he was doing. He didn't do his job properly and my kitchen floor was flooded due to his incompetence. He then tried to deny the responsibility. I then hired a plumber who videotaped where the fault lay. I paid this independent plumber, but the fitter did not apologize or offer to recompense me for the cost of the plumber. Very shortly after the fitter completed the job, the kitchen started displaying faults, which I reported back to the store and customer services. Initially, it appeared that my problems were considered seriously and various representatives were sent to my home to verify the faults, which they did. In November 2022, a more dedicated fitter visited my home to correct the errors. Unfortunately, he had other contracts to fulfill and due to lack of stock of the tiles required to complete his mission. Since the 3rd of December 2022, I have been left in limbo with no helpful information offered. The store is blaming customer services and they are blaming the store. I am being shuffled from pillar to post and now a stalemate where I am no further forward, even though the said tiles have now been in store for over 7 weeks and I am still waiting. For 3 months I have had an unsightly yellow biffer bag sitting in my front garden causing damage. I have requested its removal and been given empty promises. The manager of the Waltham Cross Wickes store is now avoiding my calls and visits. I am in my 80th year and fear that my demise will preclude completion of my kitchen. This info is from a self-employed fitter for Wickes. I signed up to become a pro installer for them of their kitchens and bathrooms. Went through the process, load of online course and phone calls to sign up, basically a load of old crud as I've been doing this 25 plus years. Anyway, first job and dry fit installation price is £6,595.50. That was what I was told was the price. It's not until I've done the job and some 20 days later have I been paid, only to get £2,934.99. What they don't tell any installer is the admin fees, and still to this day I haven't seen it. On their remittance advice it doesn't even show the full install price, nor does it the VAT or admin fees they take. They basically get half of every job that's done for them. And do nothing for it. No wonder why they are always advertising for installers. This is my story. I'm a single female who lives alone. My bathroom fitters would be able to do their job in half the time if they didn't spend half the time on their phones. Standing talking about food, takeaways, being drunk, vomiting in the sink, working hungover. Holidays and women. Completely different to my kitchen, who was fitted by different people who were very professional and did a good job. My only issue with Wickes kitchen was customer services. Loads of broken items delivered, 9 deliveries booked that didn't arrive. I'm really worried about what the quality will be like and really don't want to have to now go out and leave them alone in my home. In addition to that, they've sent 2 young lads. One is in college, so not even trained yet. I just had to leave the fitters in my home. My daughter just had a baby, and they hadn't done anything in the last 2 hours but had been in my bedroom. I put a washing basket behind the door and went out via the outside door in my bedroom, and when I came back the washing basket had been moved and the door was open. I'm not impressed. I am on my own. I hate the thought of them going through my bedroom. There was absolutely no need. It has made it very awkward for me. Plus I have very personal letters in my bedroom regarding medical and money. Now I won't know if they've been reading them. I feel my privacy has been violated. I have few other issues and will be logging them. I've only just received compensation for the cock-ups with broken stuff. Missed delivery and the appalling customer service, meaning I had to be at home 9 extra days for failed deliveries in my kitchen. I dared not say anything while they are on the job though. So difficult to speak out. Also the customer relations person who was dealing with my case and seemed close to resolving now no longer works there, and the lady who's taken over had not responded to me email I sent over 3 weeks ago. This is appalling. This is from a Wickes staff member. I used to work within the main warehouse that supplies all stores across Britain. I was a picker. When I started there, I did this for 2 years. Then I worked on facilities when they realized I could do plumbing and building work. 8 years. I done that for them. They treat you okay. When you're a yes man, I can do it dart, but when you turn into a no man, they do their utmost to stitch you up like they did me, and they got away with it too. But I know I'm a bigger man than them, and I do know things of how they work, and what they do, and I still have eyes in that place if I needed them. When I had a job doing picking, I noticed favoritism, but over the 10 years I was there, said employee climbed the ladder by grassing on people within warehouse. Obviously his wages rose whilst mine stayed the same for doing more work than him. I asked for a £2 pay rise to take my hourly rate up to £12.69 for all I done for them, and I was told they can't give me that much. Even though I was saving them thousands by unblocking toilets when blocked, otherwise they would have to call out a drainage company that used to charge them around £900 a time, and they couldn't give me extra £2. I left them to it. Unblock the toilets yourself, I thought. I gave up helping them out after I knew I was being taken for a ride. This story is from a social media group admin. My story started out over 10 years ago. The main reason why I started the group. I quickly learned how many other dissatisfied customers there are. Since lockdown the group grew massively and more people were coming forward. My issue wasn't as bad as some of the stories that were appearing on the group page. Whilst I felt let down, at least I hadn't lost thousands of pounds. I called out a few managers for not having any group input. This wasn't taken very lightly. As a direct result, soon after I received abuse via messenger from CS. She said, "Ain't you a big fat ugly man with 6 chins and a tiny pee? I hope you and yourself have a Christmas. Don't eat more turkey. It will make you fat. I hope your child doesn't grow up to be a C like you." So not only has this person stalked my profile, She's also referenced my son. Fat shamed me. I'm not fat by the way. I bet her mother is proud. I got a ban for some reason. I believe Wickes have influence on Facebook. They are always running ads, and if anything gets in the way of their advertising campaign, as a customer I'm sure they'll complain. Since running the group it has opened my eyes to the culture associated with Wickes, and it's very ugly. I did hope to get the management on board and work with them to try and improve things. It clearly shows they aren't. It is wrong that a massive company is allowed to trade like this, and rip off people in droves. I hope if anything this goes noticed, by Wickes themselves. Or someone who is influential enough to make a difference in my plight to highlight Wickes for what they are. I then had friends of Wickes employees join the group to spy on what we were saying. We could directly chase said people back to Wickes. I made a note of this so there is some clarity to this. From that point on I've been very cautious about who joined and made to the group private. I feel there is much more material I have on Wickes to have plenty more episodes. This however is a pilot episode to see how the land lies. If you have any more information you'd like to pass on, please get in touch. When interacting on the channel please refrain from bad language, or posting anything inappropriate or liable. Many thanks for watching.